Learn to be happy by yourself. You have to learn to be okay with being alone. Such nonsense! This idea drives men into depression, anxiety, stress, unnecessary levels of suffering, and simply unhappiness. We as human beings aren't made to be alone. We're made to be in the company of people all the time. Our brain was shaped into its current form around 200,000 to 300,000 years ago, where we had a tribe of a couple hundred people around us all the time. Even if you're the introvert, which I respect, then perhaps you would be sitting over there 25 meters chewing on leaves, but your tribe was still fairly close. If you're alone, your brain produces cortisol, more adrenaline. Your brain thinks you're gonna die if you spend too much time by yourself. Why is that? Well, because in the past, our brain realized that the people who were too far away from the tribe for too long got eaten by animals. They starved to death because they didn't have other men to go hunt with. They lost their chance to pass on their genetic legacy to female members of the tribe. So Darwin took care of you. You got eroded from existence. Your genetics were wiped out. So we are all descendants of people who realized that being away from other people isn't good for us. So when we are, we become unhappy. The problem is in our current society, we don't attribute unhappiness to being away from people, except for people who are amazing, like Johann Hari, who's written a book like The Real Causes for Anxiety and Depression. And you don't have to be anxious or depressed to understand the value of it, but the base idea is one of the biggest sources of unhappiness in life is lost connections, lost social contact. You have to understand that the greatest source of happiness for us as men, for us as human beings, is social contact. High quality male relationships. Having an amazing woman by your side. You do not have to learn to be okay with being alone. Actually, quite the opposite. A question that I like to ask my clients, or everybody for that matter, is it's a bit of an unusual one, bear with me. How many hours over the last 30 days did you spend in the company of high quality male friends, family members, or amazing women, or a woman that you really like? Well, 5-10 hours per week. Okay, fantastic. But understand that back in the day, our brain was made to be in the presence of people 24/7. Now, that may not be necessary today, and you might say, well, a bit much social contact. Fine, but you need at least a couple hours every day. You need way more of it than you think. Ask yourself this question. The times in your life where you suffered the most, where you're the most unhappy, where you just couldn't get this one lady out of your head. You kept thinking about her. Oh, is she gonna cheat on my ass or not? Where you suffered the most, in whichever way suffering manifested itself. Was it when you were by yourself or in the company of loved ones? By yourself, most likely. Now, that's not to say that automatically cures everything. It's not a cure-all. Of course, there's way more systematic as well as internal components that need to be taken care of, but it is a hugely important one. Simply by being around the people you truly love, your brain produces oxytocin. It increases dopamine and whatever other cocktail of neurotransmitters and hormones is being released in your brain. It is really fucking good for you to spend time in the company of people. So, you can overlook the skyline of Dublin here. I'm not sure if Dublin really has a skyline, but if there is such a thing, this is it. There's so many people there who are suffering right now. It's a Friday night. They either don't know how to go and socialize and meet women because they've never developed the skill set, and there's nothing wrong with you. It's just a skill set. They don't have high quality male friends to spend time with, or the men they do spend time with, they want to drink a lot of alcohol, and they're not really doing anything productive or anything that makes them feel alive outside of the consumption of a neurotoxin. Alcohol, right? There's so many people right now, if they just connected to each other, they would be so much happier. There are amazing people out there right now. There's an amazing woman out there waiting for you to go and approach her. Be that on a dating app, be that on Instagram, be that in person. They are amazing, high quality male friends, ambitious, intelligent, successful, warm, kind, generous, just like you are, who are waiting to meet you. The only difference between you and them is you're watching this video. You're fortunate enough to have stumbled across my content on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, wherever, and now you're watching this, and now the idea is being reintroduced to you, then you can actually go and make those connections. You gotta make the first step. Very practical idea. The gym you currently go to, whatever social circle you go to, invite other men from those social circles for coffee. Say, hey, bro, it doesn't matter whether you're 40, 50, or 60, or 30, it doesn't matter. Just call them bro so they know you're not trying to, suck their dick, have a little bit of quality male time, if you get what I'm saying. Let the intentions be known so they don't get scared, but just be like, hey, we should go grab a coffee someday. Oh, okay, cool, let's do this. If you do that 5 to 10 times over the next couple of months, you will get one new best friend. Having one new best high quality male friend is going to increase your levels of happiness by at least 20 to 30%. That's my prediction. Having one or two new high quality male friends will increase your levels of happiness by at least 20 to 30%, maybe 100 or 200 for some of you, maybe at least 20%. I guarantee you that. One of the greatest sources of joy and happiness in my life, outside of spending time with Fernanda, outside of doing the job that I really, really love, is spending time with my male friends and doing sometimes something productive, sometimes it's going and socializing, sometimes it's just playing PlayStation, smoking a cigar, talking shit, being silly. Just being in the presence of amazing male friends makes you feel so great. Jordan Peterson says we outsource our sanity. It stabilizes you like very few other things. I would bet that the time that most men spend getting over a breakup could be cut by a tenth, into a tenth. So if it were to take you 100 days of suffering, it would only take you 10 days to fully get over it if you were to spend every single day or at least several days a week in the company of high quality male friends. 100%. 100%. And by the way, go watch, if you're trying to get over a breakup right now, go watch my breakup video here on YouTube or Instagram. How to get over a breakup. It's absolutely epic. You have to watch it. It is so hugely important. It's one of the most non-monetizable concepts that I'm trying to push out there. This idea of high quality male friendships. But you have to aim for it. And most men never aim. Les Brown says most people fail in life, not because they aim too high and miss, but because they aim too low and hit. Most men never aim for high quality relationships with women or with men in general. You can actually aim for amazing friendships. Most men have friendships with other men that are a 5 or 6 out of 10 that are like, meh, if you're not feeling it, if you're not amazingly excited or like really excited about life, you're not spending enough time around the right people. You're not. You need 1 or 2 more amazing friends, and they're out there. They're waiting for you. You just gotta assume the responsibility for creating the outcomes you want in your life. That means you gotta approach men in a bro way in your gym. Go dance bachata and salsa. Really. For example, one of my friends, he runs the best dance school in all of Ireland called the Dublin Salsa Academy. He's from Cuba. He's been teaching dancing for 20, 30 years, I believe. They teach bachata, salsa, various different styles of bachata, and bachata, well, sensual bachata mainly, and then salsa, LA, and line style. I don't even know any salsa. I've been dancing bachata for like 3 or 4 years with marginal efforts. I could have done a lot better job, but he's doing that, and he's created not only an amazing community, but a really, really high standard as well. And that's a fantastic source for people to meet. I would argue a lot of the people who go to DSA, to Dublin Salsa Academy, they go there just to socialize. Some of them, yeah, they take the dancing very, very serious, but I would say 90% they just go there because they get to meet people. The music is amazing, they like the movement, of course, but being able to socialize Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, and then 1 day a week is absolutely beautiful. I told them, what you created here has such a massively positive impact on people's happiness because you're giving people the chance to connect. There are people out there who are waiting for you to make that step. And your life will improve so drastically if you add a couple of right people. Now, let me talk about the other side of this. Sometimes it's better to be alone one evening, it's become a little bit more nuanced, then spend time with the wrong people. This does not mean, oh, I can't spend any evening by myself ever. No, do meditate. Meditate for half an hour, go to the gym, work on some projects, go back to work. Yes, you can do that one evening. But then the next evening you should go and spend time in the company of quality people. But it's better to, but people make it a false dichotomy. Well, I'm either going to be by myself or I'm going to be with the wrong people. False dichotomy. Find the right people. But it doesn't mean that you, in German we have a saying, auf Biegen und Brechen, that you absolutely have to try to fill every evening that week. No, it doesn't mean that at all. So don't spend time with the wrong people either. Because the wrong people, they can get you to drink too much alcohol, consume other shit that's really bad for you. They can destroy your levels of motivation, of focus, of productivity, or they're just negative whiners and complainers. They don't have any goals. They're not ambitious. Don't do that either because they're going to lower your standards. The wrong people are going to fuck you up. 100%. Even unconsciously, even if they're not doing anything mega bad, just because they don't have any high standards for themselves, you unconsciously lower your standards, your ambitions, simply by being around them, because you don't want to be constantly exposed to that discrepancy, to the delta between your ambition and their ambition, because it creates tension, it creates conflict. And the more conflict there is, the less you feel connected to them. And one of the strongest needs we have is the need for love and connection. So for us to feel connected, we need to have a lot of things in common with those people. So in order to erode the conflict that creates a tension, that leads to a lack of connection, we lower our standards unconsciously. So you need to spend time around people who have very high standards, who are crushing it, who are absolutely killing it. It's so important. It is so important that you set high standards. But here's a little bit more nuance. That doesn't mean that every single one of your friends has to be this uber ambitious guy. You can have some people who are just like, nah, they're just happy. As long as they're happy, as long as they want to see you win, you can share good news, but you can also share bad news with them, and they're genuinely a source of positive energy, regardless of their ambition. Then it's good to spend time with them. But what you don't want to do, because there's also some ambitious people who are just grumpy as shit, and I don't know if that's really what you want either. So you need to find a balance between ambition, intelligence, warmth, and positive energy. It is absolutely important that you bring the people up with you. This trend in personal development, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most amount of time with. True, but that doesn't mean that you need to ditch all of your childhood friends. In fairness, some of you should ditch all of those. And some of you really need to bring them up. Because it's not so much whether they're crushing it or killing it right now, but are they open-minded to being inspired? If you're already crushing and killing it, and they're open-minded, and they're grateful, and they're open to going on this amazing journey with you, well, then invite them with you. Why do you want to just win by yourself? Obviously, you're not doing that. So find the right balance, but ask yourself, does this person really want to see me win? Or do I feel a little bit of a bad taste after I share something with them because I can really see they're jealous? So it's not just about spending time with anybody. You should actually have very, very, very high standards. That's why if you talk to people in the gym, 9 out of 10 men you're going to meet, you're not going to want to spend time with. And that is completely normal. But 1 out of 10 men in the gym, you're going to want to spend time with. Also, here's another hack. Pay more money for a gym membership. If you're currently paying $60, pay $200. Go to a gym that costs $200 a month or $300 a month, and the quality of people goes up. Now, that's not to say that people who pay a lot of money for a gym are automatically better people. I'm not talking about the worth of a person at all. Really not. I'm somebody who treats every staff member as well as anybody with status. I really, we all have grumpy days every now and then, but I really try to make an effort. But the level of ambition and the level of success is higher. And that's only one. It's not the most important one, but it's one of the qualification criteria. So increase your expenses for the gym. Because like, okay, let's say you pay $2,500 over a year for a gym membership, $200 a month. Let's say you meet one new friend in that year, one good friendship. Isn't that easily worth it? What's the ROI on that? What's the ROI on 23 days of happiness over the course of a year? Immeasurable, isn't it? It is so vitally important that you refuse to believe the idea that it's okay to be alone. You just need to learn to be okay to be alone. No, socialize. Learn the skill set of meeting women. Improve your communication skills. Improve your confidence. Understand there's nothing wrong with you. Yes, you have your flaws that you need to work on. I do too. But it's just a skill set. Get out there. Use online dating apps. And you can create a truly amazing life for yourself. I sincerely wish you all the best. Go and socialize. Take care.